There have been huge changes happening in AI right now that have put the question of AI sovereignty at the forefront of everyone's minds. So let me catch you up and tell you what's going on. The story starts when Anthropic released these two incredibly powerful models, Fable 5 and Mythos 5. And for a few days, everything seemed like it was going well, until late on Friday night, the Trump administration put an export controls on these two models for safety reasons, which effectively shut them down, forced Anthropic to suspend access. Well, that was on 12th of June, and now, as of this week, Fable 5 and Mythos 5 are back. But you know what? They're not the same as they were before. And I think the changes in them are incredibly revealing about the real state of AI politics right now. So let me explain. This is Fable 5, a question I asked to Fable 5 earlier this morning. Can you tell me a bit about the research on bioterrorism in AI? Totally innocent, the sort of thing I ask all the time. No. Chat paused. Fable safeguards flagged this message. Won't let me ask it. And it says the safeguards are intentionally broad right now. There were safeguards already with this model, but they've been made even broader to appease the Trump administration. And it's the same with Mythos 5, which is the model that was given to companies, especially for help with cybersecurity. You might have heard about it. It was always given to a select few companies through this thing called Project Glasswing. But on its re-release, the number of companies has shrunk right down to an original set selected in collaboration with the Trump administration. And yes, seeing as you ask, they are all US companies. And I'll tell you what this looks like to me. It looks like a de facto licensing scheme where the US government decides who gets access to the world's most powerful technology. And the reason I say that is because it's not just Anthropic that's dealing with this. It's also OpenAI. They released some new models recently, and here's Sam Altman on Twitter announcing it. He says, good news first, we've got some new models, they're great, brilliant, all the normal stuff. But he adds, bad news. At the request of the US government, it is launching today in limited preview. What does limited preview mean? It means they go to a select group of companies decided in collaboration with the US government. And yes, they are all US companies. And you don't need to ask me what that means. We can ask Sam Altman, because he put out another tweet where he said that he thinks the preview period for safety, very good idea, but I just don't like the idea of the government picking the customers. Yeah, that's almost what's happening right now. The US government is picking who gets access. Look, the AI companies hate this. They hate this because they can't get their product out to all the people they want to get it out to and start making money on it. And they've been proposing some really radical solutions to try and get round this. This is a paper from OpenAI which suggests maybe some kind of AI sovereign wealth fund for the US. And there have been reports that they're suggesting they give 5% of the entire company to the US people. The US government is not entirely clear. They don't want to comment on that. But just to give you an indication of what that would mean, 5% of that company would be 40 billion. And of course, the reason they're doing this is so they can get their products out there. All the labs have got their suggestions. So they're worried about it. And so are the leaders of the world's governments, because they're basing their economies, their armies on AI, and they're to control access to it. So this is a meeting of the G7 which took place recently, where there was a discussion about AI. And I've spoken to people who know what was said in the room during this discussion. And what happened was that the three big AI leaders, there's Sam Altman, Demis Hassabis, and over here, Dario Amodei, they pitched their idea of how a system might work, where the models could be released. And all the world's leaders listened. But you know what? This image is, in a way, I think, a bit misleading, because it sort of implies that the world's leaders have got a seat at the table. Look, there's Keir Starmer. But we don't really have a seat at the table, because really, those pitches just going to this guy. Him and his administration are the ones that are really deciding right now, and will decide probably what the structure of this looks like going forward. And of course, look, you know why that is, because power in this realm devolves to who actually has the stuff, who's got the best AI. And right now, it's the superpowers, China and America. Don't worry about the details here. This is basically a scoring system for how intelligent your AI is. You can see most intelligent, Americans, after that the Chinese, and all the way over here, lonely representative, For the EU, Mistral, French company. This is why the EU and the UK aren't really that involved in these discussions. And look, sovereignty is one of those words, isn't it, I think, where people can get very fixated on it and get very black and white about it. What does it really mean? But I think at a basic level, it means control and agency. The UK government is doing some things to improve control and agency in this area, but in reality, the truth is that the real control and agency is taking place very far from here.